At 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. It was my brother. I watched him die 3 weeks ago. I didn't answer. 1 minute later, a voicemail appeared. It was his voice whispering, "They're in your house now." Then my front door camera went offline. At 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. The screen showed my brother's name. That wouldn't be strange, except my brother had been dead for 3 weeks. I stared at the vibrating phone, my heart frozen. Then the voicemail notification appeared. One message, timestamp tomorrow. I used to believe fear was something you imagined, something created by movies, shadows, or stories people told to scare each other. I was wrong. Real fear is quiet. It doesn't scream. It waits. My name is Daniel Moore. I'm 32 years old and I work as a night dispatcher for a small security company in Ohio. I sit alone in a dark office watching camera feeds from empty buildings, parking lots, and warehouses. Most nights are boring. Some nights feel wrong. The night everything started was cold and silent. Too silent. At 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. I didn't answer it. I just stared at the screen, watching my brother's name flash again and again. Michael. My hands were shaking. Michael died in a car accident. I saw his body. I attended the funeral. I watched the coffin disappear into the ground. Dead people don't call. The ringing stopped. A second later, my phone buzzed again. Voicemail. I didn't open it. I turned the phone face down and tried to focus on the monitors in front of me, but the air felt heavy, like the room was holding its breath. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Finally, I picked up the phone. The voicemail was short, only 8 seconds. Michael's voice was weak, distant, like he was speaking through water. "Dan, don't go home tonight, please." That was it. No static, no background noise, just his voice. I sat there unable to move. My brain tried to explain it. A prank, a recorded clip, stress. But I knew my brother's voice better than anyone. And then I noticed the timestamp. The voicemail was marked 3:02 a.m. It was only 2:29 a.m. I checked again. Same thing. The message was from the future. I didn't go home that night. At 6 a.m., when my shift ended, I drove straight to my parents' house. I didn't tell them about the call. They were still grieving. I didn't want to reopen wounds, but something else bothered me. Michael didn't die instantly in the accident. He survived for almost an hour before bleeding out in the car. And the last thing he said to me at the hospital was, "Promise me you'll always answer when I call." I never broke that promise until tonight. That day I tried to sleep. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard his voice again. "Don't go home tonight." At 2:17 a.m. the next night, my phone rang again. This time I answered. "Hello?" My voice cracked. Breathing, slow, painful. Then Michael spoke. "They know where you live." I sat up in bed. "Who knows?" I asked. Silence. Then a sound I'll never forget. A door opening. I rushed to my apartment immediately. I don't know why. Fear should have stopped me, but guilt pushed me forward. The police cars were already there. My apartment door was wide open. The lock was broken. Inside, everything was destroyed. Furniture overturned. Walls scratched. And written on the bathroom mirror in something dark and sticky were 4 words. "You should have listened." The police said it was a break-in. No suspects. No fingerprints. They asked if I had enemies. I said no. I lied. Because Michael had enemies. Before he died, my brother was a journalist. He was investigating a local human trafficking ring connected to people with money, people with power. He told me once, "If anything happens to me, don't trust the police." I didn't believe him then. I do now. That night, my phone buzzed again. A new voicemail. Timestamp, tomorrow, 1:11 a.m. Message length, 12 seconds. I didn't play it. I was too afraid of what he might say, or worse, what he might ask me to do. Every night at 3 a.m., the locked door whispered his daughter's voice. She wasn't asking for help. She was asking why he left her to die. Yusef was a broken man. He lost his wife and his little daughter in a car accident. After that night, his life stopped. He stopped smiling. He stopped sleeping. He stopped feeling anything except guilt. The city became too loud, too full of memories. So he left. He moved to a small, quiet village far from everything. A place where people spoke little and looked at strangers with fear. At the end of the village, there was an old gray house. No one lived in it. No one wanted it. It was cheap. Too cheap. Yusef bought it without asking questions. He wanted silence. He wanted to disappear. The house was old but clean. Gray walls, small windows, long dark hallway. At the end of the hallway, there was one strange thing. A small room. The door was black. No handle on the outside. Yusef tried to open it. It did not move. He frowned and stepped back. "It's just a locked room," he said to himself. "I'll deal with it later." That night, Yusef woke up at 3 a.m. He heard something. A soft sound. Crying. He sat up in bed. His heart started beating fast. The crying was weak, but real. He stood up and walked slowly into the hallway. The sound came from the end of the hall. From the black door. He stood in front of it. The crying stopped. Then he heard a whisper very close. "Daddy, I'm scared." Yusef froze. That voice? It was his daughter's voice. Fear. He ran back to his room. He locked the door. He did not sleep again that night. In the morning, he decided to leave the house. His car would not start. His phone had no signal. The road outside looked strange. Longer than before. Empty. Something did not want him to leave. Second night. The second night was worse. At 3 a.m., he heard small footsteps. Slow footsteps. Like a child walking barefoot. He opened his door carefully. The hallway was empty, but the floor was cold. On the black door, he saw something new. A small handprint, drawn with white chalk. He did not draw it. There was no one else in the house. The voices. Every night the sounds grew louder. Crying, laughing, whispers, always from the black door. Always the same words. "Why did you leave me?" Yusef screamed back. "You are dead! You died!" The voice answered calmly. "You promised you wouldn't leave me." Losing control. Yusef stopped eating, stopped sleeping. His eyes were red. His hands shook. He saw shadows in the corners. He felt small hands touching his arm. Every night at 3 a.m., the house woke up. And the door seemed closer. The seventh night. On the seventh night, Yusef broke. He grabbed an axe from the storage room. He stood in front of the black door. His hands were shaking. "If you are there," he cried, "let me see you." He raised the axe. One hit, 2 hits. The door cracked. With the final ooter, it broke open. The room was freezing cold. The air smelled like metal and smoke. In the middle of the room, there was a crashed car. The same car from the accident. Broken glass, bent metal. In the back seat, his daughter was sitting. She looked small, pale. Her eyes were completely black. She looked at him and said softly, "You left me there." The truth. Yusef fell to his knees. The memory returned. The accident night. He was alive. His daughter was alive. She was crying in the back seat. He could have helped her, but he was scared. The fire, the blood, the pain. He ran. He left her screaming. Confession. "I'm sorry," Yusef cried. "I was a coward." The girl stood up. She walked toward him. Her hand touched his face. Cold, too cold. She smiled sadly. "It's okay now," she said. "You can stay with me." The sad ending. The next morning, the villagers found Yusef. He was dead, sitting in front of the hallway, his eyes wide open, his face frozen in fear. The black door was closed again. No one could open it. And since that day, every night at 3 a.m., anyone who walks near the gray house hears a soft sound, a child crying. Imagine hearing a child's laughter in your house, and you live alone. Then you see writing on the wall that says, "Don't look back." Would you turn around? Adam did. And it was the last mistake of his life. In a small, quiet village, there was an old house at the end of the road. People didn't go near it, not because it was broken, but because it seemed unnatural. Adam, an ordinary young man, had moved to the village to work. He didn't believe in scary stories. He told himself, houses aren't scary. Fear is only in our minds. On his first night in the house, he heard slow footsteps upstairs. He went up to investigate. He found no one. He went back to sleep. A little while later, he heard a child laughing. Adam sat up suddenly. He lives alone. The second night, he found the kitchen door open, even though he had locked it himself. On the wall, there was black writing. "Don't look behind you." He turned around without thinking. He saw a tall shadow standing behind him. It had no face, no eyes. He closed his eyes tightly, then opened them. The shadow disappeared.